Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today for the 59th Managing Committee meeting. And Vidushpa, thank you for chairing this meeting. And may I hand it over to you to welcome our guest speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Brigadier sir.
Hello, sir.
Thank you so much for attending this meeting of Sportscom. Just to give you a background, Sportscom is essentially an industry body for the sports industry.
Sir.
And what we are trying to do is get corporate service providers and all people who are involved in the sports industry together so that we can develop a robust ecosystem within the industry, as well as have a mouthpiece with which we can talk to be it the central government, state governments, and help in development of policies and a way forward for the sporting industry in India. So I think that's just a quick background of Sportscom. Kavita ma'am obviously handles the secretariat and leads the secretariat, so she's been very kind to handle this issue. Sportscom members, I will just try to give you a brief background of Brigadier Brigadier and Dr. Bibhu Kalyan Nayak ji. Brigadier Bibhu Kalyan Nayak ji is an MD in sports medicine and IOC diploma holder. He has over 2 decades of experience working with elite athletes, a specialist in sports traumatology and exercise physiology. He has served as a team doctor for India at London 2012 Olympics, Rio 2016 Paralympics, and FIH and as an FIH medical officer at the Tokyo 2020 and the Paris 2024. He has also performed the duties of the Chief Medical Officer of the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, from 2011 to 2014, and has also commanded a field hospital in Eastern Ladakh region in the Galawan Valley from 2014 to 2016. He is notably the first Indian doctor to be appointed as an FIH medical officer at the Olympics and the first Indian to chair the Health and Safety Committee of any international sport federation. Currently, he is the founder director of the National Center for Sports Sciences and Research under the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. I think so that is where a number of our members are going to be asking you questions because they are very interested in this field. And he has envisioned, and this is envisioned, this NCSSR envisioned as an apex institute for athlete care and sports science in India. His work has contributed significantly to advancing sports medicine and athlete welfare on both national and global platforms. Welcome, sir, to the Sportscom Managing Committee meeting. So we are eagerly waiting to hear from you on your journey as well as what you're doing currently in the sporting ecosystem and how we can help you on that.
Yeah. Can I share my screen, please?
Yes, please, sir.
Sir, is it visible?
No, sir, not yet.
वो कैसे करेंगे?
Brigadier, send it to me. I can open it up.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I'm afraid. Sorry, ma'am. I'll just send it right away. Otherwise, I'll have got the backup one, ma'am. इसको कैसे भेजेंगे? हाँ, आ जाओ आके कर दो इसको. देखो फटाफट. Ma'am, this because some security setting, it is not letting me say this, ma'am. Just a minute. Okay, limiting. Yes.
Now it is visible, sir.
Okay. Yes. My sincere apology for this glitch. Uh, At the outset, again, on behalf of our National Center of Sports Science and Research, and all my scientific staff, wish to convey a deep gratitude to the top leadership of Sportscom for allowing us to talk about a topic which is very we are passionate about, that is sports sciences. And by letting us, the Sportscom also has indirectly conveyed their focus as well as their vision with regard to sports sciences, and of course with regard to our ultimate excellence when it comes to sporting performance. To start with, I'll talk about why this National Center for Sports Science came into existence, what are the vision, the mission, and how all of us can together work together to become a sporting nation in coming days. If you talk about sports and sporting excellence, as one can see, the athletes are there who are moving from one side of the mountain, the other one, and they are being supported by four pillars down below. The coaches, of course, and the government, where again, all of us not like all of you do come in as a part of governance, as well as the technology partners or the industry partners, and we come as a sports scientists as well as the researchers. So our aim is to facilitate the athletes to attain their maximum genetic potential. So why sports sciences is necessary? Yes, sports science helps to elevate the performance of athletes. It controls or prevents overtraining. It helps in the injury prevention. It helps the athlete to achieve their peak performance, and of course, it also ensures that athlete attains their complete genetic maximum potential. What do we do it with? Sports medicine is one part, sports physiotherapy is part, but we at Sports Sciences, we are looking at the avenues to enhance the performance of our athletes. For that, these are the various divisions or the departments: the sports anthropometry, physiology, psychology, biomechanics, nutrition, biochemistry, and strength and conditioning. Why I wanted to emphasize? Because again, sporting performance of an athlete also do depend on all these minute factors which can lead to that performance edge at the highest possible level. To coming about the scheme, after the Rio Olympics, the government decided to focus on sports sciences. So based on that, this was started as a central sector scheme way back in 2017, but it came into existence from 2020. And the initial, it was decided to run it up to 2020, followed by 2022-23. But again, now it has been extended up to 2025 to 26. However, it is also being now examined to continue up to maybe up to 2030. This is being implemented through Sports Authority of India, and basically the vision is to position the NCSSR as a renowned sports science and sports medicine institute with exceptional outreach and sports science delivery system, where we are looking after the sports science support to all our athletes. And of course, we have to be always athlete centric, evidence based, and of course, we are also a coach driven system. And our mandate is to provide best in the class sports science and sports medicine facilities. And also, we have got a mandate where we have to foster a sports science and sports medicine research ecosystem. Apart from that, also we need to identify and onboard the most qualified manpower in sports science and sports medicine to support India's high performance sports ecosystem. The scheme components, we run in a hub and spoke model. And we also, I'll just explain how we are helping our medical colleges and universities to set up the sports medicine department and sports sciences department. We have also undertaken a lot of research with regard to sports sciences and sports medicine, and how we have developed with the standard operative procedures, the layout of various high performance centers, sports science centers, and various training modules. And of course, we are all working on the line of having our indigenous talent identification mechanism. As one can see on the left side, our scheme has got where we have got the centers where we support our athletes day in, day out, where the headquarters is located at Delhi, Indira Gandhi Stadium. We have got two high performance centers at Patiala, Bangalore, and these are the other 11 our SAI National Center for Excellence, where our athletes are training. At any point of time, we have got almost 3,000 athletes who are training all over the country. On the right side, one can see the universities and institutes where we have got master's program, which is being supported by our NCSSR out of the current budgetary allocation done by the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And these are the down below are the 5 medical colleges where we have started with the MD Sports Medicine program. So on the left side, we are working on the sports science delivery to our athletes. On the right side, we are working on the capacity building for our country. We can proudly say that till now, after this scheme has been initiated, there are almost 1,100 master students who have passed out and working in the sports ecosystem. And more than 12 MD sports medicine students are also been now put into the ecosystem who are helping our athletes to attain their maximum potential. What do we do? To start with, we are very good at providing biomechanical and performance analysis services. On the right side, they are the to start in the clockwise manner. That we do the balance assessment, movement analysis, performance analysis. Coming to the sports psychology, again, we provide all kind of support to our athletes, not only counseling, but also with the testing. And during in competition also, we provide them the support. Sports nutrition, again, very, very customized for each and every athlete, depending on their kind of sports, their discipline, and kind of the competition or training phase. We provide them the customized sports nutrition services through our nutrition experts, and we also have a very, very customized menu for them in our sports messes. Coming to the left side, down below is the exercise and physiology related services, because we expect after every training, it is supposed to bring in the beneficial changes. So we have got all possible advanced systems with us where we do their physiological evaluation, performance evaluation, and if required, then we go back to the coaches to bring in the modifications in their training program. To get them compete in an all kind of environment, we have got environmental chambers where again we can simulate any kind of environmental condition, be it temperature, be it moisture, be it be it the cold. And we have got a very advanced recovery services where you use the cryotherapy system, hydrotherapy system, hyperbaric oxygen training system, and intermittent negative system. Apart from that, we have got dedicated service of massage therapist, and we also use the compression garments after their training hours. Medical services, again, we have got both medical screening and injury prevention. As one can see, we give more stress on the screening and prevention rather than treating. In the treatment wise, we have got everything in our arsenal to help our athletes so that they are treated at the earliest possible. The downtime is always all time low. We always adopt a very, very multi-pronged approach so that our athletes, even if they are injured, so we put them back as early as possible. What we have done till now, we have conducted all kind of training for our staff, and we also have come up with a very advanced return to sports block at our place where we evaluate the athletes and put them back to their training as early as possible. We are coming up, apart from the Bangalore and Patiala, we are also coming up with an advanced high-performance centers at Sonipat. And of course, we have also come up with a template for various sports sciences setups, be it from 50 athletes to that of top 300 level athletes. Apart from that, also there are procedures, because in our country we never had a protocol where what kind of test to be done when it comes to the sports sciences. So that is the first thing we have done, the standardization of the testing. So any Olympic shooter, any Olympic archer, any Olympic boxer, now we have come up with a very standardized testing, and these tests have to be done twice a year so that we understand how do they respond to training. And based on this, we'll be having our own benchmarking also in coming days. Apart from that, also we have also got a data safety, because again in our country we never had a data safety policy with regard to sports sciences data. That also we have come, and we have identified certain challenges where we are collaborating with ICMR to come up with the possible indigenous solution to all these challenges. How do we help? As one can see, these 5 medical colleges and 6 universities, along with our science centers, we try to support the athletes when it comes to the any requirement either to sports sciences or sports medicine. Athletes who are training in the NCOEs, where we have got all possible facilities to help them out, and athletes who are not part of the SAI center, but again we organize and facilitate their support services by collaborating with our local partners of these medical colleges and universities. And we have also streamlined the testing report, which is very easy to comprehend. Apart from that, very easy to be used by our coaches, whatever the reports we give them, so they understand how it has to be utilized for the benefit of the athletes with regard to the modification, the training. And this is how we have come up with each and every department's SOPs, be it anthropometry, nutrition, physiotherapy, psychology. So all these sports sciences departments have gotten standard operating procedure. So you walk into any of our SIE and COE centers where the tests will be the same, the equipments will be same, and the processes will be the same. So that we are trying to bring in some kind of uniformity in the sports sciences practice in our country. And for the first time, we have adopted it's a return to sports, that is athlete reintegration protocol. In our country, we never had an return to sports protocol. So for that, again, this was vetted by all the federations. Now it is being utilized by all the federations. Any athlete getting injured and out of training for more than 4 weeks, they have to undergo this phased rehab programs and have to be cleared by all this competent personnel so that athlete can go back to the sports. This was utilized during the Paris Olympics. And again, coming to the template, the government wanted us to come up with the suggestions. If somebody has to set up a sports sciences setup, how it has to be made, what should be the area statement, what should be the manpower statement, what should be the equipment statement. This also we have come up with, starting from 50 athletes to almost 300, that is till the Olympic level, depending on the space and the budget we can come up with this. And we are also helping the government to come up with this national code against age fraud, which is going to be adopted in 2025, where we have come up with a very, very comprehensive policy where we'll be able to tackle this age fraud in a very comprehensive and the effective manner. We have also tried to use a lot of technology this time. The AI-based software also will be utilized to ensure that not many athletes are capable of hoodwinking their this thing underage participation. We also do conduct a lot of training activities for our coaches, high performance directors, and of course, what we have done of late is we have started taking our sports scientists and started training them in certain sports also. For example, we took 30 sports psychologists, 15 from SAI, 15 from the open market, and we got them trained for 7 days on how to look after the shooting sport. Similarly, we are working for the hockey as well as other sports. Apart from that, we have also used technology to incorporate this monitoring of their sports sciences parameters. Along with this is the again tool that has been supported by the IIT Mumbai as well as the Department of Science and Technology. We have come up with an in-house software where at the click of a mouse, we come to know what is the quantum of injury with regard to the risk for all the boxers, all of the country who are training in our ecosystem. And accordingly, one can understand what kind of injuries prevalence at certain point of time, so that you can have a proper preventive measures as well as the treatment measures in place. This is again a few of the snapshots of the software where one can completely monitor each and every athlete, if there is a performance, if there is a drop in the performance, or if there is an improvement, or any athletes requiring any kind of immediate attention. This is our lab in Indira Gandhi Stadium. We are trying to replicate these kind of labs in all our NCOs also. And we have got all the modern equipments as well as the gadget to help our athletes. Since we are at currently we're hardly into 2 to 3 years of our existence, so we are trying to come up with a model center here in Delhi, followed by Patiala as well as the Bangalore. Then we will be expanding to our other regional centers. Why I'm saying? Because in coming days, we will be seeking the support of all our industry experts to make it much better. And what are the possible areas where looking for our a very few this thing collaboration I'll be talking about. And these are the infrastructure that is we are coming up. And I can proudly say that we at NCSSR helped in setting up this the therapy zone and the recovery and rehab zone at the Paris Olympics for our Indian athletes. And we carried all the stuff all the way from India. We set it up for our athletes in the games village for our athletes. This was the recovery zone. We also had the dedicated massage therapists for the first time for our athletes. And we also had sleep pods so that they could recover well on time before the competitions. And we used all this for our para athletes who also done us proud by having a rich medal hall. And this is the equipments we left behind. This was used by our para athletes. And apart from that, what lessons we learned, that they always wanted some kind of Indian food. Once we came back, we this thing got them cooked and packed them and sent it across to for our para athletes at the the Paris Paralympics. And these are the areas where we are looking for a few committed partners to help us out. Like we want to know, like if there is a AI-based performance analysis to track our young athletes and their progress, because we have got a routine software, but we would be looking for something AI-based performance analysis so that we can groom our athletes to attain the Olympic glory in coming days. We also want more research on Indianized sports nutrition solution, because we have always grown up by eating certain kind of food and staying in a certain kind of climatic conditions. So we are also want to work on our indigenous solution. Apart from the nutrition, also we are looking at the hydration as well as electrolyte balance, which is again very specific to our Indian climatic conditions, so that our athletes do recover well and train well. Apart from that, there is also, we are looking at the epigenetics based research on the recovery, because I can still say that though I've spent almost 20 years in the sports ecosystem as a team doctor, but still we do not know what is the best recovery and the load management that we can give it or advise to our athletes. Apart from that, we also want to work on with the startups where we can have a very affordable wearable technology, and we should have a very affordable sports rehab technology which can help our athletes in coming days. And these are the future outlook we have shortlisted. These are the few research areas that we need to work upon, because again we need to work upon advanced recovery methods, then indigenous recovery methods, and we also want to come up with adaptive and assistive equipments for our para athletes so can they do better. And apart from that, also there are the nanotechnology we are looking for to work for our clothing, so the apparel of our athletes, which can take care of our unique environmental challenges. We are also working on the neurotechnology for the skill enhancement, or we are also looking for collaborators with regard to 3D printing technology. And on the right side, these are the eminent institutions who have been our research partners. IIT Madras is going to help us in the AI as well as data analytics. Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga, where they are trying to come up with a specific kind of yoga for specific sports and specific kind of training or competition. And the Ministry of Defense is also helping us with their recovery solutions. And with Pilani, we have requested them to guide us on the apparels and sports shoes. IIT Delhi will be helping us out with the para-athletes customized sports equipment and technology solution. And with the All India Institute of Medical Sciences and Sports Injury Center, Safdarjung, where we are trying to come up with the indigenous injury prevention module as well as a predictive model. And apart from that, we are also using a lot of biologicals when it comes to the treatment of the skull muscles as well as tendon as well as cartilage injuries. The vision for us is that we aspire to be the country's central institution with regard to sports sciences, uh, innovation, as well as talent identification. We used to focus on athlete-centric excellence, grassroots inclusion, and of course, our Olympic medal aspiration. And we will also seek the help of the industry to how we can use AI, wearables, and analytics to power athletics with regard to their performance tracking, so that in case of any kind of mismatch with their performance or any kind of dip, so that we can intervene at the earliest. Also, we are working on how to create a national sports science network, and we are also working how to set up various regional high performance centers so that region wise our athletes can be taken care of. Nobody has to come to any central centers. We are working on the capacity building, where we intend to have more than 10,000 sports sciences professionals to help our athletes in coming days. And of course, for all kind of customized solution, we are looking for our industry partners to help us and guide us to come up with the right solution. And as all of us know, as a part of national sports policy, the government will be coming up with district level sports schools, where they will be having dedicated sports science facilities, and for which will require affordable sports sciences equipments so that our athletes can use it. And we are also trying to integrate this National Center for Sports Science, all activities, along with our national initiatives with regard to Khelo India, Fit India, Target Olympic Podium Scheme, and the ultimate 2036 Olympics preparation strategy. To conclude, I can say that we are determined to play a pivotal role in our country's aspirational journey to become a sporting nation in coming days. And for that, what we are looking for few committed partners from the industries who can help us in this journey. And in coming days, we aspire to be known for our strategic foresight, adaptability, and continue to focus to leverage technology in our favor, so that we dream of a Biksit Bharat where each and every athlete can attain their genetic potential by use of science and technological advancement. With this, I come to the end of my talk. Jai Hind. Thank you again, Sportscom, for giving us this big opportunity to talk about the sports sciences, whatever we are trying to do. These are very humble initiatives. We have got a long, long way to go. But again, it is not possible to have to attain everything without the support of the industry.
Thank you so much, sir, for that comprehensive presentation. In fact, you touched upon so many things which our members are actually undertaking, like just for the purpose, like excellence in sports, and Commander Rajgopalan sir is there.
Yes.
Nutrition front, we have Prasanna, who is a indigenous sports nutrition supplement
Wow.
manufacturer, and he
Yes.
might have some more questions on the sports persons kinesiology and measuring of the performance. We have again some members. I don't know whether they're attending today, but I know we have Dr. Mohan, we have Ramki, both at least
Yes.
there. Many other members were there. From yoga, I think we have Udit, who's also our office bearer, and he is part of the Yoga Federation. So we have multiple people who are more than willing to collaborate, and I'm sure they will come up with the questions. I'll maybe uh, put ask the floor if they have any questions for you, sir. Maybe anybody who has any questions for uh, Dr. Nayak, please.
May I?
Yes, please, Prasad.
Uh, Jain sir,
Prasanna
so
ji.
I know Bibhu Nayak ji for almost 15 years now. Even before he, was there with London Olympic. And he is one of the mentor. We have been learning a lot from him for last decade or so. Thank you so much for your valuable time, sir, and really appreciate the way Indian sports science is you are taking it forward because that was the missing link between the athlete and the achieving his highest performance, genetically. So my two queries would be there, or the suggestions. As a sports com, we have been working on a drug-free supplement policy
Yeah,
for India.
yeah,
Unfortunately, this is the missing link again between nutrition and performance. This doping is very critically acclaimed topic. Unfortunately, last week report again has put up sadly India at number one.
yes.
It's very sad for each one of us. And we want to get rid of this as soon as possible. And we as a sportscom, we have created a drug-free supplement policy, and we have done this presentation with sports ministry and at various levels. Would love to collaborate with you because your institution is the key institution where most of the sports scientists are getting trained, most of the athletes are getting trained, and when it comes to sports nutrition, performance nutrition, I think supplements has become an integral part of it, whether we say yes or no, but it has become an integral part of it. So we have created that policy and would like to work with you, sir, extensively, take your guidance to modify it and to bring as a national policy for India when it comes to selection of supplements or otherwise. Part number two is yes, as you rightly say, that we have been also working on very sport specific nutrition planning and supplementation planning. So we, for that reason, also wants to get collaborated with you. We have been working with Army Sports Institute for research-based sports supplementation formulation because Indian athletes are different than the Western world. And you have entire sports science scientist and sports nutritionist under you. If you think that Indian requirements are different, we are more than willing to do some research part and bring the product in line with what our Indian sports person would require, and then getting it DOE-free certified. All the products, what we are doing is under NFSU and with BACG. So these are the two requests, sir. If you can collaborate on this, we'll be more than happy to work in that direction.
Yeah, you have noted, Prasanna ji, just for your kind information, the first and foremost thing is that affordability of the dope-free supplements. So you have taken the lead, and we also intend to have more campaigning during the national camps. So and at the national championships, where we want to tell our athletes, ki, gone are those days that you have to always go for a very expensive, exorbitantly or priced those. Free supplements. So we have started. So
Sure.
and we have been always requesting you also to come over during this national championship. And another small thing I wanted to bring to your kind attention, where we'll be seeking your help, is that we are, because till our country we do not have a policy with regard to supplements for our junior athletes. Now, the Honorable Minister had said to undertake a study where again we will be requesting you to join one of the domain experts to guide us, because ICMR is funding that study. We are coming up with the multicentric studies where we want to see if the junior athletes will require any kind of supplements. Once it is yes, then funding will be undertaken and the other facilitation activities also will be undertaken. So we have just in the initial stage, the study methods has already been approved, and we are about to, before we start, we'll be requesting you for one of these brainstorming sessions, which will be held at ICMR headquarters. We have given your name, so you need to come down and tell us. So the domain experts will be there for this one of its kind study that is being undertaken.
Great, sir. It will be great honor, and it's good to have this kind of policies at junior athlete itself. We have been working with boy sports companies for almost 15 years now, and we have come up with certain challenges, and we'd like to bring on table our experience and our expertise to guide our junior athletes as well. Thank you so much once again. We'll be more than happy to get associated with you.
Looking
Thank you. It
forward.
will be honor. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
May I?
Yes,
Uh,
please.
Yes,
Hello, my
please.
name is. Am I audible, sir? I'm
Yes.
sorry, actually, I'm in the car. So,
Yeah, no,
uh,
absolutely. Please.
my name is Karan Chetri, sir. Good evening.
Good
And
evening.
uh, we belong to a platform called I'm Game, and it's a platform where we're trying to build the ecosystem within sports industry in our country. And in fact, the reason why I'm coming here and asking you is that we really want to invite you to come and speak on our Iron Game Sports Conclave, which will be India's largest sports conclave, which is being held on 18th and 19th of July in Andaz, in Aero
Yeah,
City. So we
great.
want to extend that. Please grace the occasion, sir. In fact, we have sent the invitation to Dr. Mansukh also for
Great.
inauguration.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Great.
this is for the keynote session during the evening side where we want to talk on sports science, sir. And sports science being a topic which very few know about, and what we want to do in the specifics of the subject, very few people know about sports science. And the kind of people who are attending would love to have this topic coming up. So I wanted to extend this invitation, sir. Please let us know. 18th July is the date for the sports science.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay.
be honored.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm around, but again, though I've been here in this field for 20 years, but I know for all the sports administrators and the top management, sports science is a very unglamorous part. But definitely, because again, because over a period of time, I'm sure everybody has realized talent supported by sports science and technology can only get you sports
Exactly.
excellence.
So,
So
having
so
said that, sir,
definitely
just
I'll do
yeah,
my bit. Definitely
yes.
I'll do my bit. If required, I'll get our top few of our top sports scientists also.
Thank you so much. That'll be really, really nice, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank
I'll
you.
send you the invitation.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
I
good
think
evening,
Mr.
sir.
Subramanian had his hand up at some point. You have any questions?
Vidushpat ji.
Yeah, Mukul ji, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
good evening, sir.
Good evening,
Sir,
please.
I'm Mukul Verma from Jalandhar, and sir, I run a sports goods company. And since you were talking about sir, sports apparels, equipments, sports
Yes.
accessories also, so we have a plant, decent sized plant in Jalandhar, and you'll be pleased to know, sir, we have been supplying to some of the biggest international events, sir.
Great.
I mean, like one of them was Rio Olympics
Great.
and Rugby World Cup, stuff like that, sir. So, sir, we'll be more than happy to get associated with the SAI, Sports Authority of India, in terms of technical textiles,
Yes.
because sir, we are already working on such clothing, which is used in extreme climates and which has got high stretchabilities and all those sort of things, sir. On top of that, sir, some of the equipments that is being made in Jalandhar by our company and some of my fellow industrialists, sir, we are making, sir, those things now, sir, which have got technical data chips also inside the ball, sir. So that is I mean, something which we can offer you in the coming days, sir, because that is under a patent with our buyer. But definitely, sir, that is the line where we are walking at the moment. And also, sir, in terms of sports accessories, if you say like sporting bags or protective equipment and stuff like that, sir, these things are now made in India, sir. I mean, since the government horizon has changed and the view has changed, so a lot of things are being developed in India. So I'll be more than happy to get associated with SAI, sir, and provide you whatever best industry can do from my side, sir.
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for educating us on this, especially me. What we'll do, so we keep holding the various kind of sports sciences workshop for our coaches, and during that time, also we'll invite you to come and talk what all the this, new products that is available. And second thing, with regard to the apparel, we have been looking for someone who can help us and guide, because BITS Pilani is there, but again, they are purely a technological institute, so they also need certain inputs, so that we aspire to have a product where at the remotest possible area of our country, our athlete can afford a kind of sporting apparel. So that should be the what do we call this, dry technology should be there, and it should be very, very exclusive to our Indian climatic condition. We love to work with it, and please come over. We'll discuss, and required we'll put you to IIT Madras. They are also very keen to work on this the sports textile technology. And we are also looking for
Thank you,
an
sir.
affordable shoe also for our sports persons. Though all our top athletes, they are being funded by government or tops to buy their this thing, but we are still looking at someone who can afford at the grassroots level where we can give them a decent, ergonomically evidence-backed sporting shoe.
Sure, sir. Our aim is, sir, to make in India is a real success, sir. That is the aim and vision we have.
We'll
So
be
we will do
happy
our
to
very best, sir.
contribute. We'll be happy to contribute in
Thank you
whatever
so
manner.
much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Uh, Miss Shishti Jain also has, I think, a question. So,
Hi, sir. How are you? So nice to see you again, sir. Sir, I just wanted to understand, sir, for the upskilling part and of the coaches or athletes beyond the sports career, I wanted to know how should we join hands with Sai and who would be the best person to connect with?
Okay, for that we'll make you this thing connect with our head of academics, that is Anas Patiala. Since we are more
Yes, sir.
confined towards the sports sciences, and
Right, sir.
yours is once the athlete complete their athletic career, where they need to graduate to the next level, be as a coach, be as the other professional. So we'll because now again the government is trying to come up with a past champion program. So what I'll do, I'll let you know and I'll share the details. I've got your details because of late we are coming up with a past champion program where they are being now trained so that ready for the next phase of their career.
Nice, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll
Thank you
share
so much.
the head of our head of NIS Patiala. You can talk to him because the government is coming up with a new committee in next few days where they'll be working at this.
Sure, sir.
Till
Thank you so
now,
much, sir. Amazing.
till now there was nothing. Very rightly pointed out. So the government has also started thinking, and they are going to come up with a high-powered committee on this.
Thank you, sir.
thank you so much, sir, for your time. And we really appreciate your inputs as well as your presentation. And as you rightly say, since some of our members are anyways wanting to participate and talk to you and collaborate with you, I'll request Kavita ma'am maybe to
Yeah, to share the
forward your
details.
presentation maybe to the
Yeah,
members
yeah,
if
I'll
you're
share
okay with
this.
that, sir.
Yeah, please, please.
Yeah, and then maybe we can get our members to come and meet you
Yes.
separately and
The
collaborate, sir.
first and foremost, anybody like they can visit us here, and either way, you'll be also coming to since you are one of our prominent member of our ethics committee, where we'll be undertaking a lot of research initiatives. So I'll invite the all the August audience to visit us whenever they are here in Delhi, because seeing is believing. So I will request that we are coming up with a very respectable kind of infrastructure setup on behalf of Government of India.
Thank you
Again,
so much,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us this big opportunity to talk about sports sciences. And we are looking forward. We are looking forward to collaborate.
Thank you, Brigadier, for
Thank
doing
you.
this for us. Really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mm.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uh,
Now, how do I, ma'am,
So you'll
stop?
have to
just
stop the share. Kavita ma'am, you'll have to
yes,
stop the
Okay,
screen
I
share.
will. I will.
yes. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have done that.
right.
Thank you, Brigadier. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Chairman, our next speaker, Yannick, has joined.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Kavita ma'am.
We can see Yannick.
I can see Yannick, but a bit distant on the video.
Yannick, we can't see you. We can see your face. We can't see. You're too far away. Now it's little
Better.
better. Sorry, Yannick, for the delay and have kept you waiting. Vidushpat, and thank you very much for doing this on a very short notice. Really appreciate your support to us. Over to the chairman now, Vidushpat.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, Yannick, for joining us. Just to give your introduction to the members, the Sportscom members who have joined in. Mr. Yannick Colaco is the co-founder of FanCode, which is India's premier sports destination for personalized sports content and commerce. With over 2 decades of experience in the sports and the media industry, Yannick co-founded FanCode in 2019 under the Dream Sports brand, along with Prasanna Krishnan, with a vision to create a unified platform catering to all the needs of Indian sport fans. I can say I'm one of the subscribers to the FanCode.
That's awesome.
Then previously, Yannick served as a managing director of NBA India, where he played a pivotal role in grassroots basketball development, launching the NBA Academy and bringing the first ever NBA games to India. He has also held leadership roles at Nimbus Sports and continues to be a passionate advocate for enhancing the fan experience in Indian sports. Thank you, Yannick, for joining us. And we really look forward to hearing from you on your vision for Indian sports, creating a platform which never existed in India before, and what is the future.
Thank you so much, Vidush. And I won't. Thank you for having me, and it's awesome to see so many people so committed to the development of sports in India. So I'll just give you a quick background, and I know Vidush already shared a little bit about me. I'll give you a quick background about myself and how we came about with FanCode, right? I think so. I've spent over 2 decades. Basically, as I keep telling everyone, I'm a failed sports person, right? I wanted to become a professional sports person. I couldn't become that. So next best thing was get into the business of sport. Fortunately, I was able to get into the business of sport as far back in the early 2000s with IMG and then with Nimbus. And then I had the opportunity of working with this really big global, obviously, basketball brand, the NBA. And in the entire time that I worked in this sports ecosystem for about almost 15 years at that time, I saw two really interesting things happen. One was the amount of fandom that was existing in sport, especially among young kids, was growing exponentially. There were more kids playing football, there were more kids playing cricket, there were more kids playing basketball. But the second part was the amount of coverage that was actually going to sport outside of premier cricket events like the IPL was actually decreasing. So in 2005, the English Premier League was on two major sports channels, Star Sports 1 and Star Sports 2. In 2014, it was on Star Sports Select, whereas the IPL was on 27 channels. Right? So what I figured, or what we all really knew at that time, was sports fandom in this country has been growing exponentially. The traditional format of distributing sports, which was linear broadcasting, wherein you could show only one event at one time, meant that you maximize to scale rather than to audiences or rather than to fans. So that's the opportunity that we this. The problem that we wanted to solve was how do we create better access of global sports events to sports fans across the country. And obviously, given where we were in 2018, 2019, when we launched this, digital was the big enabler of all of this. So we said, let's create the first ever, this was the first in the world, first ever digital first sports platform, where our focus was to bring access of global sports events, in domestic and global sports events, to fans across the country. It didn't matter, it wouldn't matter when we made decision on sports that you could get 100 million users. It would matter that you had 1,000 users, as long as those users were passionate about it and willing to contribute to our ability to bring those. So the FanCode vision was obviously how we bring this access of all these global sports fans to sports fans across the country. And in reality, we built this and we started building this with a group of people who essentially, as I said, are sports fans. So we always say that FanCode is built for sports fans, by sports fans, right? Whatever we do every single day, I don't know if you can see this room, but our entire office is built like a sports stadium. This is the Camp Nou room, which is named after the Barcelona stadium. We have a basketball room. We have a running track around the entire office. And that's really the culture of what we are trying to actually build, in the sense that how can we build a platform from India? And right now, obviously, we're catering to sports across and fans across the country. We've got about 180 million users we cater to. We cover about 12 sport. In a year, we do about 20,000 live matches. Our goal is obviously in terms of scale of number of events. And obviously, we're being a product tech company. One of our biggest challenges is not just bringing those events to the consumer, but how do you make sure that at the same time, when you have different kinds of events on our platform, how are different users across the country be able to have great experiences? So I'll give you an example. 2 weekends ago, at a point on a Saturday evening, or 3 weekends ago, we had close to 100 live games on FanCode across 8 sports. Now, there was maybe Vidush was a Formula One fan, I don't know, but if there's a Formula One fan who wanted to watch it on 50 fps on full HD on television, and at the same time, we had a Kabaddi event where there were people who wanted to watch it on a 3G connection on mobile phone. So the product tech of being able to make sure both these users had great experiences, irrespective of the last mile or the final device, is essentially a massive product challenge, which is the reason we built this completely in-house. And all of it's been built from this office in Mumbai. So that's really what we've been trying to build. We've had, in the last 6 years, we've had lots of ups and downs, lots of learnings, but we've obviously built this entire sports fan base that we have on our platform. We were fortunate enough to be rated the #1 sports entertainment apps for downloads in 2024 by Sensor, which is the leading research program around sports and around apps across the world. We've continued to focus not just on global sports events. We've got Formula One, La Liga, global cricket. We've got the 100, the Big Bash. But we also try to focus more on expanding the sports ecosystem in terms of. So we've also started focusing a lot on women's sport, a lot on under 19, on junior sport, not just globally. We showed recently the Indian Women's Tri-Series, Cricket Tri-Series in Sri Lanka. We're going to show the Women's Euros in football. We've also been showing tons of other junior and women's sport from across the world. And as we continue growing, we've also realized there's a large category that we can keep expanding. For example, last year, the first time we actually showed the Harris Shield. The Harris Shield, for all of you from Mumbai or who have connections to Mumbai, is this famous school tournament which happens in Mumbai. It never got covered before. We put it free for our consumers, and we marketed. We had 20,000 people coming and watching it. So I think, the potential of sports in this country, the potential of sports, especially among youth, and for it to actually be able to impact youth in a positive way is something that has got tremendous amount. And I think our role is providing access, working with people like your members to be able to see how can we get more sports access to sports fans across the country, and obviously building a business model around this. Our ambition as FanCode is we're going to continue growing, obviously, in India, continue investing and growing in India, growing our fan base, growing the sports spectrum, which we cover. Recently, we started covering tennis with Roland Garros, the French Open. We recently announced a partnership with La Liga, which is one of the biggest football leagues across the world. We're also continuing to do a lot of domestic cricket, like Bengal T20, women's and men's, which we're doing. Next stage for us as we continue growing in India is also to take the product from India across the world. Right? And I think that's something that we have a lot of ambition of in building over the next few years. One of the things, obviously, which is very relevant for this audience also is as part of the Dream Sports Group, our role in providing access is not just in terms of building a monetizable business model, right? We are also very conscious about influencing the sports ecosystem. Being someone who's been involved in sports, as I said, for 2 decades, I'm very conscious of the fact that none of the pieces that we all contribute to can work on its own. Right? It's not enough to market sports, to create great stories, to create access. It's also important to have infrastructure. It's also important to have proper training. It's also important to have proper medical facilities. I know your esteemed speaker before this spoke about nutrition and training around this. So in the Dream Sports Foundation and among our group, we are also doing a lot of work in terms of empowering. We've empowered over 8,000 athletes and coaches through various DSF initiatives. We've had over 50,000 students in 400 schools through the Dream Sports MSSA programs. We've done programs in youth football and youth table tennis to try and keep building sports across this country. So we appreciate a lot that we have to contribute in sports development across for the entire industry to grow. And I think one of the things that we're constantly looking to work with other people and work with other people in the ecosystem is how do we work collaboratively with partners across the industry. And I think the 2 things that I'm in particular trying to focus on more and more now, one is the growth of women's and youth sport, and second is the application of AI. right? I think a lot of what we are capable as an organization and capable as an industry of doing will be significantly amplified if we are able to use AI, whether it is in terms of machine learning towards better personalization of content to our users, whether it's personalized, we've been trying, in fact, we were just doing this test today. One of the challenges we have in India, we have so many games, right? And we have so many languages in this country. It's very difficult to try and, like do Formula One in English. If you're not a fan of Formula One, it's very difficult to understand if English is not your first language. But for us, from a business perspective, it's extremely operationally difficult to do like every single one of those 20,000 games in 8 different languages. You have 8 studios, 8. So we've actually been testing in the last 2 months and we're actually launching into production AI-driven translations, right? Which is auto-translate in real time with less than 10 seconds of time lags, latency. And the amazing thing, in the past, translations were happening audio to audio, but what wasn't able to pick up was the actual emotion. And we've been working with partners today, and we're actually going to launch this in the next couple of weeks, where the emotion is actually carried on in a different language. So it's not just English to Hindi, to English to Tamil, English to Bengali. It's also the emotion of the the events. And when we are actually launching it, I'm going to send it to all of you guys, and you all have to guess which is AI, which is real people, and it'll be really fun to kind of see. So yeah, so that's really what we're really keen on working with the industry and working with people around to figure out how we can actually not just help get more sports access and give them coverage across the country to sports fans, but also in terms of how can we contribute in terms of positively impacting the sports ecosystem. And I think across these three elements, women's sport, youth sport, and application of AI to kind of push, because technology is something that we know, we are happy to kind of work with this organization and all of you in terms of how we can actually contribute to building this.
Thank you, Yannick, for a very interesting and a very, as I said, tech-driven overview of broadcasting. I didn't even think about this angle when you talked about how AI is going to be used for various language translation and even getting emotions. And I think that itself sounds brilliant. Waiting to see that. I'll just ask if any of our members have any questions for you. Does any of the member have any question? Yes, Mr. Karan. Karan, please go ahead.
Oh, I think I've got the wrong camera.
Yeah.
Hi, Yannick. My name is Karan Chetri, and
Hi, Karan.
I'm from I'm Game. So, I watch MotoGP because I'm a racer, and I race on BIC a lot. So I have fan code. So I just want to ask you, and this is something because coming from experiential marketing, I want to ask that, uh, being a fan code, do you think that it's time for you to also realize that how you can actually increase your footprints by doing some kind of activations to help people understand what, because I think a lot of people don't know what fan code is, right? And do you think that through fan code you can also help other leagues or other, like for example basketball or volleyball league? Do you think fan code, you should have a joint collaborative activation through creating small hubs for viewing these kind of matches? Because a lot of people don't understand, and how you can make that experience of viewing that match a bit more experiential. Are you open to something like this? And if you are, I would definitely like to invite you for I'm Game Sports Conclave, which is happening on 18, 19, because I really want to touch on this topic to help a lot of leagues and help FanCode to get more reach with the audience.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Karan. And I think, honestly, I think with everything that you're talking about, we can keep talking about digital and the world of, viewing and stuff, right? But I think the core of we're all sports fans here, right? The core of sports, what sports is, it's about community viewing, right? So we try and build as much as we can on digital, but I think being able to touch people in a community is something that we are actually experimenting that in Formula One. We recently did with this company called Social, which has all these restaurants,
Okay.
very young
Yeah.
audiences across.
Yeah, young audience. Yeah.
So we set up around 58 socials where we did community screenings. We've actually launched a podcast called Gearbox, which essentially is community people who love the sport talk about the sport in a simplified way to try and welcome more people into the community. And that's one thing that we want to really, really push. I think with all of this stuff, obviously the question, Karan, is prioritization and what we can do, how many things we can do, because as you know, offline is not as scalable as online is. But I think, to your question is something we're very, very conscious of. I'd love to talk to you about what we can do around MotoGP. And maybe we can actually find ways to activate MotoGP also. I'd love to talk to you about and get your ideas on it.
Yeah, sure. Because I went to BMW, I went to Ducati. BMW wants to do a lot of things. So anyway,
Yeah.
my question is that we all talk about collaboration. There are a lot of opportunities of collaboration, and as you said that as being a sports corp member, there are so many members who understand, and therefore we should all have more of these forums. And I think this will enhance our ability to understand each other, what they're doing. And thank you so much, Sportscom, for doing this because it just helps us to understand better. Thank you, Yannick. And I would definitely like to call you maybe after this call and explain you about what I would like fan code to do so that you'll get more maybe actionable alliances, which will definitely help. And of course, we can take the dialogue forward. But thank you so much. I feel fan code is doing a brilliant job. So I really like it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Hi, Shrishti, I can see your hand up. I think you have a question for Yannick.
Hi, Yannick. Hi, I have a very, very brief question, Yannick. We are a sports edtech platform. We make people, sports analysts, sports commentators, sports journalists, so on and
Shrishti,
so
your
forth.
voice is not clear. Maybe you can just go near the mic.
Hello,
Voice is not
am I audible now?
Yes, much better.
Yeah. Hi, Yannick. My name is Shrishti. I run a sports edtech platform where we help people become sports analysts, sports commentators, sports journalists, so on and so forth. We train them and we place them. So my question directly to you is, how do we approach fan code? Because fan code actually takes a lot of people through a platform called TCM Sports, but somehow not able to connect the dots. So what would be the right channel to get it?
Absolutely. I'll if you can drop me a mail at yannick
Rakesh ji, sorry, there's a disturbance. Rakesh ji, your mic is come on. Can you just please switch it off?
Yeah, I'll ask Shrishti, thanks for that. I'll ask Kavita to share my email address. If you can just drop me an email, absolutely. I think you're doing a great job. I think anyone helping people get more and more employment in the sports industry is really really important for all of us. So happy to kind of see whether we can help and collaborate.
Thank you.
Any other members? Any other member have any other questions? Yannick, I think my question is, I think we've all got stuck, or at least we all talk because we are from the sporting ecosystem. We all talk about cricket and why we are stuck at cricket and why we are not being able to move on to other sports. And I see fan code as a really welcome change because being not so cricket, I used to be more cricket, but now watching so many other sports, at least I get an avenue to see it. But how do you see this growing the audience for other sports, and where do you think the next growth for other sport is, and where do you think we are going with the next big sport in India?
Yeah, so I actually think, Vidush, I think sports like football, basketball, motorsport, I think there's already a big youth audience which is following it. So I think there's already lots of momentum building around it. I think genuinely, a lot of people try to use IPL and India cricket as a benchmark for success. I don't think that should be seen as a benchmark at all. That's something which is special. I don't think anyone's going to get close to that level in our lifetimes, and that's okay. I think people should be looking at the fact that, today, if you had a pro kabaddi league, which has, packing up audiences of 10,000, 8,000, 15,000, a volleyball league. If you have, when we have motorsports events, we have 1 million people watching. I think those are already great foundations. It doesn't make headlines from a PR perspective when someone says, I got 1 billion people watching IPL. That's okay. So I just think that the opportunity in this country and other sports is significant. I just think it's important to understand that each of these niches need their own form of development. Right? You can't say, oh, I'm going to take what IPL has done, I'm going to slap it on football. I can't, what IPL has done, I'm going to slap it on hockey. Each sport has its own unique kind of abilities and its own unique selling propositions. I think we need to build on that. And I think from a development perspective for India to be successful, this has to be seen in like 10-year, 10, 15-year kind of horizons. It can't be seen in 2, 3 years, right? Because infrastructure, training, all of that has to build up slowly. So I just think that everyone needs to look at, I mean, in today's age, everyone wants instant results. But I think this needs to be seen as like 10-year, 15-year propositions. But the response we've got, Vidush, especially from younger audiences, it's really interesting. We still, of the 20,000 events we show on Fan Code, we still have like 10,000 of them are still cricket, right? Or domestic cricket, other non-India IPL cricket. The users who come and watch, the fans who come and watch motorsport, especially young fans, aren't watching cricket. The fans who come and watch, I mean, there are some, but like if they are spending, X amount of time on motorsport, it's 5%, 6% they're spending on cricket. So these audiences are building. Of course, it's not very close as this thing, but I think this audience engagement is building, and it's, I think, our job, both the global sport, bringing them here, and as well as local sport, to kind of keep helping them grow.
I think a follow-up question there is sometimes the numbers in IPL are astronomical, right? But having said that, our viewership for other sport is actually going to be comparative or much higher than viewership for other sport in other countries. So how is that playing out? Why is it that we don't end up evaluating that prospect, that our viewership, say 100,000 people watching a Formula One, is going to be comparable to 100,000 people watching a Formula One, say maybe in I don't think Spain or Italy, but maybe in, say, Croatia.
Yeah. So I think the only difference, Vidush, is that the revenue per user which you're generating in this country is a little low. But again, as a growing economy, that is going to grow. So I think from a business modeling perspective, it doesn't match up to, as you said, Spain or whatever. But you're absolutely right. These users are young users, and as our economy is growing at 5 times the pace of those economies, right? This is going to become something significant. And I think that's obviously the reason why we have investors also are so invested in a product like Fan Code, that we believe that this is going to grow with consumers.
Thank you, Yannick. Members, any other question? Any member? No. Thank you, Yannick, so much for giving your time. I know sitting in Camp Nou, you must be rooting for Barcelona and some transfers, but hopefully don't happen. But
Are you a Real Madrid fan?
I'm a Liverpool fan. So
awesome.
But no, thank you so much for this talk, and really something that I look forward to, especially this AI-driven commentary, something which is eye-opening, and I can already feel how that would actually create a news fan base across India, which I don't think has even been touched upon. So really look forward to seeing those broadcasts on Fan Code. And thank you so much for your time and addressing the Sportscom members.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yannick. Thank you very much.